Now then, and welcome back to another episode on the FTOG server, playing some more Quantus. How are you today? How you doing? Now, I'm expecting this video to be a long time in production. I'm expecting it to take a while, because it's already taken me a very long time in single player through all of the various tricks and trickery that I can do in single player with creative mode and schematics and moving things around and even world edit and all that kind of stuff, just to figure out exactly what it is that I want to do with the next section of my build here on the Quantus FTOG server. Well, I think I've figured it. Now I'm going to hide it just for a second, right? It's there. It's right there. I've just been staring at it, making it work. I've spent a few days during the school holidays, so the children have been off school for Easter. They've been quite happily taking over all the computer equipment and taking everything off me because they're here, and of course I will have to say yes to them because otherwise they're just going to drive me mad. Yes. So, yes, I've been given into them, letting them use my computer as a babysitter. Yes, I have. When they've not been out to the cinema or out to do things and whatever, or go outside and play football or whatever it is that they're doing, a lot of the time they're doing it on my computer. But when I have had a chance, I've had a few days of constructing. Now the area in question is this area over here, and it's quite a stark contrast with the world rendering in around me not happening, right? I've been sitting here and figuring this out. You can see just down there that there's kind of a spherical object being formed above the purple glass. I've been trying really hard to figure out what I want this place to look like. And I've been trying to do it with my little broomstick, flying around on the server, placing blocks and taking them back down, and placing blocks and taking them back down. And it was really too much. So I went back to taking a schematic of my mountain, putting that schematic into my single player world, and then flying around in creative and trying some things out, using other schematics to latch things on it and sort it all out. And I have made some differences. You can't see it exactly, but you can see roughly where things are, right? You can see roughly where things are. So we've got a second tower and we've got a little battlement running up there, and in my single player creative it looks wonderful, looks perfect, fit for purpose, ready for my steampunk era area to come around here. You might notice when we get closer that we've got a couple of little pools here, little pools of water, so I've got to dig all this section out, and then water pours in from the castle there down into these pools of water. Okay, and I had already mentioned, I think it was in the last episode, when we did the immersive engineering water wheels, that was what I was planning on doing. So we've got a tower that side, I've got a cave down there, then I've got two pools of water with water streaming down from the upper fort, as it were, and I'll probably have to change that bit round there between those two towers into a similar upper fort area, and get rid of all of this in between, all this stuff that's in the way, and rebuild it all and everything. So it's going to take quite a while to go from that to this. From that to this. It's going to take a long while. So I'm expecting this to be very, very delayed indeed. I'm going to get to work. I got my best shovel on the job and my best pick. And I'm going to be cooking lots of cobblestone, making lots of mess, lots of trips down to the workshop to throw all of my random gubbins and dirt and things away and come and rebuild according to this schematic. So I will see you from here, I guess right here, and we'll see it in just a bit through the art of editing. And there you go, the power of editing. Easy, sorted. It only took a second. That's all it was. It took a second. May have taken a little bit longer than a second. It may have taken quite some time to get all this sorted out. Lots of digging, lots of bricklaying, lots of crafting and changing and making things look cool. Still nowhere near finished because I haven't blacked it up yet. We've got to use our black basalt, and we've got to use some chiseling bits to change some of the keystones and all that kind of stuff to fancy it up a bit. And there's a few other bits and pieces that need fancying up here and there. But the practicalities of the size, shape and layout are there. Now, I would like to change something a little bit. This whole section down here, really. This full block down here. Let me take you up to the top here. This is something that we're going to change. When I'm working between this tower and this tower, this section was just annoying to look at. So what I did was I just filled it all in. I filled it all in and cobblestoned it all up and put a little wall around it. And that was mostly to figure out where the next tower was going to be and where the tower footwells and all that kind of stuff. Where people would walk up through the towers and all that. Link these two together somehow in the middle. I still haven't done the facade part of this yet. At the minute it's still very plain. Very, very plain. And it needs to have a similar sort of facade as the rest of the castle going round. So that is awesome. I'll do that another time though. This little section here that I've been working on over the last week is here for the steampunky type stuff, right? Immersive engineering water wheels and the like, which hopefully I'll get done a little bit later on in today's episode. But there's going to be 2 water pools down here, and we're going to have water cascading out from up the top there, and skeletons cascading out from up the top there as well, it looks like. Don't know if you can tell, but you can just about see there's a skeleton all the way up there. Let's see if we can get him with a power bow shot. Power something or other. What have I got on this? I got power 5 bow. Yeah, a power 5 bow. Let's see if I can get him from here. Off my broom. Oh, nearly. Oh, there's 1 hit. 2 hits and he's down. Awesome. And I've used all my torches up, so I can't do anything there. But yeah, I'm going to plan on putting some water cascading down into the pools and then maybe running down through some vegetation and the like, and then going out through and down there. Having those water mills, having them around here as well, generating the power that goes into the castle then, right? And we might do a few windmills and bits and pieces up on the top, generating some power as well. I don't know exactly how I want to do it yet. I might put a windmill on the top of one of these towers, actually. Maybe that tower, in fact. I don't know yet. I haven't decided 100%. Getting this, like, mountainside organised was the part that I wanted to focus on the most. It's now daybreak again. Awesome. As you can see, we've got grass slowly growing its way back up here. I could have gone and silk touched some grass blocks and placed them, but as I was placing down, I was digging up dirt, so I placed dirt. There's a few bits and pieces around here that still need a little bit of work that I never did in creative mode. I never sorted it out in my single player world, so I'm going to have to sort that out here and then kind of copy it over to the single player world when I want to change something again. But this kind of, the cave idea was what I wanted to get. I wanted a magical cave, and it kind of fits in that it's part of the mountain. That's the other part, you see. If I continue this mountain look around that side, then we've got part of the mountain is this cave, and then the walls of the castle looming out above the cave mouth, as it were. Can put a load of vegetation and stuff on here, maybe plant a few trees on the sides and all that kind of stuff. Throw a few vines and a bit of greenery and stuff around here to kind of hide the entrance a little bit more. But it'll be an easy broomstick in and out of the castle under this cave entrance here. Might have to bulk out the cave entrance a little bit as well. Just bring it in a few blocks here and there. Maybe just make the cave entrance slightly narrower as it gets inside, because obviously that's pretty big right now. And it's a big room, and it's a big room for all of the kind of magical crafting and stuff. So I want to kind of make it mystical and magical in here. I don't know exactly how I'm going to achieve that yet, but I want to. I want to try. Oh my. You see where I am? I'm down on the ground level on the server. It's possibly the first time I've been on ground level for many, many months, because we're playing on all this awesome amplified terrain on this server. But look, can you just about make out the silhouette of my castle up there? It's like, this is ground level. This is what we were used to in Minecraft, and then there's a mountain, and there's some huge mountains, but way up there on top of that huge mountain, my castle. And my word, isn't it? Like, high up in the air. unbelievable just how the scenery stretches out just into the clouds almost. If I had clouds set on, then those would be up in the clouds easily. I wonder, actually, let me see. I want to put the clouds on now. Let's put clouds on as fast for now, okay? Done. Back to the game. Oh, okay, I'm already at cloud cover. I'm already at cloud level and I can't see because clouds. Wow. That's how high in the sky my base is. Now that's pretty awesome. I like that. I like that. This is awesome. This is awesome. And the fact that I can fly from ground to ceiling is pretty awesome as well. But my castle doesn't even start until we get to about why are we here? About why 140, 146, why 146, and it goes all the way up there. I've now completed the castle and everything up there, so there's a few bits and pieces to sort out, but we're basically there. We're basically there. I haven't fallen off it for a while. I'm on the server on my own right now. Most of the FTOG people are playing on potentially on the Conan server or on the Beyond server, Feed the Beast Beyond. They're playing a lot of that recently. They've actually opened it up as a grey-listed server, so just about anyone can get on. That's one of the reasons why I'm not planning on going on there. Right? I'm not saying I will never go on there. I'm just saying I'm not planning on going on there because the Feed the Beast Beyond server is going to get full up of everybody, and chunks are going to be loading all the time. There's going to be block lag all the time. Everyone's going to be running everything all the time, and it's just there's no point trying to start a series on there when it's all going to be bad. But this section here on this server, check it out. It's all looking very, very good. Very, very good. Done a little bit of grass work around the edges there just to make sure things are all set in stone properly. Well, kind of set in grass actually, but that's what I meant. Set in stone, set in grass. And now I'm just kind of getting ready to do the final little touches. I just need to do a little bit of water around here, don't I? I don't need to actually do the full thing. I just need to do two sides because it'll fill itself in. Like that. There we go. That'll fill itself in. Good pool of water started there. And I wanted a pool of water started here as well. I actually got the idea for this from my Warhammer Dwarves campaign on Total War over on the Supporters Club channel, where I saw one of the Dwarven strongholds was kind of carrying its own lake, was wrapped around its own lake, and they built the fortifications of the place around its lake. And I thought it looked pretty cool, so I thought I want something like that in my castle. So I've got these two pools of water here. Now the plan is to make it as funky and steampunky as possible. I've been toying with the ideas of how to do this, and I'm still working on the final design, but we at least get started today, I suppose, right? So let's say we start here and come up, I think it's 3 blocks for the water wheel, so let's go one more block up just to make sure, and bring it across a couple, because then we've got 3 blocks in the middle. Actually, I think I will change that slightly again, because we've got these kinetic dynamos that go on the side there. I do like flying, but flying on this broomstick isn't exactly the best. We're going to have to do something else about that. And then you got these things, right? So having water running around, get on the floor. Having water on the bottom here is actually quite good. Having water so that it can flow down over the side here and down into this water is actually quite good, right? So having this maybe one further back might be better, to be honest. But what I was thinking, right? What I was thinking is trying to get it set up so that we've kind of got 2 sides set up here. Let's go. How many blocks is it across? It's 1, 2, and then the third is, so it's 2.5. 2.5 blocks across. So 2.5 blocks across is here. So we'll have to do it here, yeah. And 3 blocks up was the right amount. And then maybe, just maybe, we'll have a second one there on the edge of the water instead. Maybe right on the edge of the water. Not clearly sure yet. I kind of like to have a little bit of water on both sides. Let's take this back down. I'm now figuring out some kind of, I don't know, I'd like to call it Rube Goldberg system. I think it's called a Rube Goldberg, something like that. Where you have a series of really strange things happening that don't need to happen. Just turn a switch. Kind of just like that. And all I really want is the water to come cascading down here and turn this wheel. Now, you can put 3 wheels next to each other, right? 3 wheels next to each other. And that is the kind of the maximum efficiency, 3 wheels together. And I was thinking about this when I was setting it up, and I've made 6 wheels. And I was thinking, I'll just do 3 of this wheel and 3 of that wheel. And that's it. I'm kind of done. If I line this up better here, then we've got 2 blocks of water down this side, and then 3 of the wheel, and then 2 blocks of water this side. So this one would technically be off, and this one would be on here. Just to round things off for all you people that like things to be nice and symmetrical. That would have been a symmetry. Yeah? And then have water cascading down and over the top of it in this area. Right? Or cascading down and then rolling back into was the other idea. So the water ends up coming down the wall here. So we bring it down and pop it over, and then it rolls down this side and off to keep the wheels showing nicely without any water coming over the front of the wheels. There were some ideas, okay? And then I thought, well, what if I had water spilling out of there and coming through multiple different wheels to get down to this one wheel? And I thought, well, the efficiency of having 3 wheels, or the coolness of having multiple cog-like wheels bringing the water down in different directions. And I decided that I wanted to go with a multiple cog idea, with a one-off finishing, kind of one-wheel finish. So I think that's what we're going to go with. I might change my mind again yet, but you never know. You never know, I might change my mind again and do something completely different. But the general gist of it, the general ideal is still here, exactly as planned. Now, I don't know whether to do that. Bring that so close to the water's edge there that they're both going to be pretty much close to the water's edge. I think that could be a plan. I would like that to be maybe something that we could do. Just so if that's going to work out, then there's plenty of water available at the edge of it here. This could mean that I bring it over this way a little bit more as well. And I kind of then have this kind of wheelhouse in the middle here. So the energy from these two comes into the wheelhouse here, but at the same time I can walk out between the wheels. And I don't know how that's going to work yet. I don't know how that's going to look. But I could build a wheelhouse in between, a wooden wheelhouse in between, and kind of have the water cascading down to operate these 2 wheels. Whether I operate them both independently and leave the cogs showing, or whether or not I do it over this side, I don't know yet. I don't know. But another thing that I can do and may do is just kind of outline the ideal here first, because, well, we need to wrap it up. So I can either have this coming round side, not there, there, and then snap that, give me that back, and have the building kind of around the wheels. Well, you've always seen Minecraft builds where they've got these classic kind of shapes. But in this case, we've actually got the practicality that the windmills that are in this mod and the water mills in this mod are actually functional. So you've got to physically think about how they function and where they're going to go and all that kind of stuff. And this isn't exactly symmetrical because of the way I've done the waters. But it does lead me into this kind of different feel. It does make me feel like the place is different, which is nice. And maybe, just maybe, I need to level this out with this a little bit more, so we can have some kind of structure here holding it all together. Maybe I come out to here instead. So maybe then it's a bit more square in the middle there. I don't know if that squaring off in the middle is going to actually make any difference. I mean, I suppose I could make it to come out this way and have a full 3 on that side. Okay, calm down, you silly thing. You always get trapped into something here. Ah! See, it's really hard work not to. I do have some scaffolding. I was thinking about using scaffolding and stuff around here for these sort of things. But I never actually got around to using it. It doesn't kind of work the same way as the other scaffolding that we've been using recently. Doesn't quite work the same that way. Let's see, can I just take a few sections off here and put them back on there like that? And then do I put these on here, and is that going to fit? Is it going to work? Yes, it is. Is it going to work? I don't know, because this is here. Maybe if I just fill that in and clean it up like that, then the water can fall and cascade into this side. Does these fall out when you break them? No. I didn't check to see if I could actually climb up it. Oh yeah, you can climb up it. That's okay then. Alright, so I might use some scaffolding as well, treated wood, and the other kind of scaffolding to try and make it a little bit different. But then it's kind of the wheelhouse. I kind of want a wheelhouse. Maybe the wheelhouse needs to have a little bit of a curvature to the end of it. I don't know yet. That's another thing to check out and to figure out. But the whole cascading water ideal, I think that's what I want to go with, rather than just having a few down the sides here, down the back. I mean, we get 3 wheels, so we get a maximum production there, but then only 1 here just to even things out and make things look a little bit more symmetrical from the side there. Not that symmetry matters in the steampunk kind of stuff. We've got to have a kind of a build style going on here as well. But I can build this up and make a little building out of it and have water cascading down the sides and through some various cogs and wheels down into these water pools down here, and then maybe cascading down the sides here and through down all the way down. Who knows what it's going to end up like. But I've done lots and lots of building this week. You can see the outcome. Now I've got to do a little bit of planning out, and I think we can probably deal with that together in a following episode. As for today though, that, my friends, that is all we've got time for. That's all I've got time for, and that is it for today's FTOG Quantus episode. So thank you all very, very much for watching another episode. I will see you in the next, very soon. Goodbye.